actively spoken about Chado for the longest of time, but a lot of you, I don't know, either you are deaf or you are refusing to listen. If you currently live at Chado, this is your time to start packing out and finding a new place. You know it as Chado. We know it as Straight Face Say. That entire town is an estuary. If you don't know what an estuary is, go and find it. It collects water coming all the way from Ebri, Madina areas. That is where the water sits. If you are living there, you are not living at the banks of a lagoon or a river. You are inside the lagoon. So you better start moving from that place and finding another place to live. Chado is not a habitat for humans. I don't know how many times some of us will keep telling you this. If you like, don't listen.
Abusia, flat in Sensemwa, Ababeto Ghana ha. Titreni Accra, especially say so toy no other places in the central region any idea and so a but and crying had any day a yajensem. Now there are some places are a because of that no a man for a see President John Dramani Mahama say won't declare state of emergency a bear crane dia won't fast for engine mu is and say binu mo baby a womotie no sebe ya can say baby a mutin enti mun free her but I say binu mo ho a wo monte now video I share ye no obi a wo kasa de afa Chado wa wudi agro wo labadi empotem ho no mo no be say Chado wo just around that side na eno na wo mu kire mu ana chese Chado no akwai te se biaye a eye nsuo biaye sebe nsuo mienu na di hia wo ho just like we are seeing on the screens enti I say nsuo a etene nsuo eto de nam form ni ade no baby a efa na ekohia zebeka de se punsuo ni bi ne lagoon ni ade baby ekohia no eho enem se Chado no eho tie na first no se binka wo na nsuo pa na wo a enei ya tonton sase ama amanfo afele asisi adan kama wo mutimuti nsuo ne to de na chese ni kwan mu na mote no enti ebeyiri afam te bi kire mu a se military kra na President John Dramani Mahama ebefa na this military forces ne be chase se wo mo pamo these people from biaye wo mo te na ebeboa because some people ne they are not really living in places e wo se nipa na etena honom na sansem we ha adwene yie papa san se ye hwe nsu a etoye na enipa sebe afam wawu no edoso yie pa ni nyina no eka kosi se asodin ya sodin eni baabi eni kwanse ye tena eni niema bi ekeka ho ena ama Ghana anase Accra ene yehu de yehu na eno mu na mene wo eka sei de the interior minister Yera Muntaka Mubarak wodi aba beto dwase ensuo ne ano brase no na dmo ni Ghana police for military for eti gine mu a wo mo eboa ye saving crofo ni ade no ewiase no na chese nipa ensuo afa wo mo ewo nkran ene number 38,000 ane ena emunson de omo ayira abusuafo etimi anka so omo adehye ayira entum kusu hwehwe omo ena dumienu ena omo free atiasefo asase so and just as you can see no or say yesterday's flood have displaced 38,000 people, 7 missing and 12 confirmed dead. Enti me no ka say die yenim se death tone denye be kosoro because wo muguso a ensuo na fe na baabi wo ho a twetwe kofom yenim kasa ensuo fa ye ne ade bi wa nitian ne wampie a na se ensuo na mene no wa no bewu ene ade we've seen some of the disturbing videos ene ade enti from the interior minister no ade ensuo to ye no enipa 38,000 ena ensuo no asai wo mo agapade ai boawura wo mo dam ni wo mo afiefie a sabredi wo munya baabi inform ti ento e wasa aban ehwe na adofo bi boa enu adaka de na etete se ebinu mo kra de wo mu fie bi ebie wo mu fie de ama ebinu mu nsori bi so ebie wo mu nsori dan de ama nkofo se wo mu enkodemu ene nipa nson so de wo mu ayera wo mu eguso ehwehwe wo mu so you can realize say enso atono abusia aha adwene papa enkran ha titire aha adwene now this same Chado na ye ka ho asem no abusia it will surprise you to know say biaye hono ma ye ka se eho ye nsuom ɛhɔ yɛ nsuom nti awonfo ɛte wɔn ne mfiri mu no afei na ne ebinum nso sɛbe wɔn mo ɛka nwura ɛne adeɛ ɛdi gu nsuom ebinum so yɛ nneɛma bi a esi nsuo ne kwan ne adeɛ na mmeranteɛ bi aba akɔkye aberanteɛ bi a sɛbe wɔn deɛ yɛ kasa nsuo eyi di fa nkrɔfoɔ no no sesa nneɛma di gu mu no ebesi kwan no ama afa nkrɔfoɔ no enti Ghana police for sɛ mote wo monka mo nyana mo nkyekyekyekye saafo ni nyina na yɛnhwɛ saa video we embra na yɛntoa ensɛm no ɛso
beginning of all the problems, bro. But see, I na be starting for you. It's only a man from Hase and I say baby and as you are speaking, watch somebody. We'll see what they can do. Watch them.
What do they do there? You know good. You know good. Because the more
you go block again, then you go come flood again.
Is it? Only this one is
We saw you. I see the trial. We third time this, so we don't watch you.
You know good.
We don't watch you. You don't cause the same problem. Oh. Can't let this thing continue. The authorities in charge of these things, not more Ghana police, challenge for catch this guy.
Yes, and not just one much say Ghana police for echi abranti any because adiena wo ye no kra na ye bone kokko say de wo ye obema eye sebe drain no echoki anaba bi enso ne befa na bechoki wo se we na twato menye biem enti wo muchema na chese de enti kro mo ka say President John Dramani Mahama wo ma asrafo ani a police for tisimu na wo mo twa nkrofo bi eye emma ne ade mo mu se de wo ye no enye wo mo ka wo bi na enso e fa nkrofo no na wo mo behwe no mo agya na wo mo enjai ne nyina mu no keche eye enyumtu oku a ewo Ghana hanom say wo mo ba ko aba be kasa na wakasa afa ensu a sebe eto ya afa nkrofo asa japade ekum nkrofo ene ade no akyerem say wo mo asebe wo mo tenten wo mo nsa wo eye mampani John Dramani Mahama so say and I will know by yena say I say the atrocities are becoming too much near DB just say near maybe a coco sono na ama sa to rent him nines watch him say yenya see ye this born president as I went put there mampani ni mo he say Ghana for yanka say you suban yo enedi yen abedru sabre say nye Ghana for suban boni e we ho a sebe nkenya de nsuo ebeto amuni afa enkrofo e won kran ha say
a friend was just talking to me and said, bro, me I think say the leaders are not doing things right. I'm like, forget you. Any leaders no. Yanka satsime mufono, yanka sa Ghanaians no. Ye fi say Ghana me say fi Jimmy. I did online. Chokole lagoon. One nam circle. Nanko foot to ni go team na me say ye let's love lead big da wu nyame shaw ye nam ni mane fen say new town ni ade won nam go team wo hwe ne nkofo di go team won me say me hwe be flat areas wo sisi an masa ye demolition say aban na water with forgetting ya no because you started demolishing if houses 10 years 15 years ago even this year demolishing houses enya no fi Yidinima ti gota no chokia overflow no ebe flood bebia Jimmy say bibini what the yakupo Jesus Christ bibini see ni post ni bibini ye jim too much because so kwa brochire won to people nje bebi njunso because the law is working bonia geno it's cracking no yidinima go tem in the end up as a mama na me rekwa wo onam wiem and all check into me crew pani. Any demolition pay you 55 billion. Still this will happen. Ye tu ni go team no go to see ye choke she kole lagoon. She embre feel so line ye feel. So unexpected areas NCC ye first water waste ni na and then so fire. Say Jimmy is a black man say but you no o sha say ye name go abontin dey what you be any po Jesus Christ ye Jim ye feel that's what you are facing no nyame hu ye mobo I'm so angry this morning nyame hu ye mobo
Abusia na keche ensem a wode ato monten so eno no wo kire mu a sebe mampani ene empanifo a wo mu bu oman asem we yen yi wo mu mfrim ena they are not doing things right ena wo omo ton sase a en wose ye ton na de den and all that and people have built in waterways ye nwingu no kire mu say eno has got nothing to do with the flooding situation nemo efin agana for ye we na be dia no wato fem na mfram ahwim na akoto gotem na akofra nete na echoki na nsuo ni ntimi nko enti nsuo toye fa so kakra bi no na nam nkrofo fie ama sebe biaye bi wo honom kra na nsuo kra wo senke yidi fa wo mo ne nsuo ejiri afa wo mo enyina na ye kasa asem we a ye nkan wie abusia ye nkohwe kwabrane de wono de chese wonte se odogo bi nu abe wonte de ekosokra ye ka se Ghana fosu ban Ghana fosu e bi chese Ghana fo nyehwe no there are evidences epie ba kwanya amanfo faso esumi wura edigu nsuom yenhwe video we emra. And just as we are seeing, no, come here and say, confirm, make a chair, any Ghana for Binumusama or more case. In Swa, and annual de toy found crop for a queen sissy, a man for fear, ya mamma, sebe, in Swani will be roofing sheet, I pet cast, nemun swum, namoto, coneni pass a muno, Nina ye fin, and a quack of an Nina, but say ye finya, sebe, got a mubed da ho, and in Swaya femu yo, a kugube beer, as I say a day, a coco gu and nipa sebi yesuban nti ene if nsuoi eyiri ede afaye na yenkopie mu ewo alajo na abusia alajo wa onim alajo no nim se gota kese pa eda alajo enye gota ketwa nsuoye ebefa ho nti na ya ye gota ise de be nsuo nyina bewra nimu na na anojo ade nsuo etoye no abusia ne nim se nsuo na ebefam so niema ye hunye no kamia se sebe alajo bridger da kronimu a sebe ka se faso ni adade ni pedi mu akoni aba no nyame nko a enka bridge no krebui ni bu ebebu ni nyina eye fin yenhwe video no emra.
Bridge ni bu rade bu hey bridge ni na ebu no bridge ni bu
Abusia, that is alajo gata da hono ena chese ensu etoye nsu ebesi enwura nkwa na yemu ma na wo hwe nwura nso a plastic bottles ene doso plastic bottles ene ne belkola ne wanhwan ensa hodo adokodoko ensuo bottles ne ade ene ne ayemu ma ene ne nyina ne mu bottles ahodo abusia na wo hwa amafo chem se ye kan ya ye moa na je se enwura yi ni nsuo ye ni ene nko choki gutters ye kwan ya nsuo enka nsuo na mu yo saa na ekọ ko se no enwura ni nsuo ni nyina pere kwan enten ye pressure akofa bridge no ma chese uhwemu a utie background kwa na amanfo tentem bridge ni bebu that is how bad eniema akakwa kudru ewo eye enkran hanom say there are more videos yebekwa share with regards to some of the drains wa lajo said the na efi some nsuo na niama se be temamfo omote wona akasa no age wo monsem wo monwanwa say truly efi wenyina egu nkran ha ene na minsum se ya na eko yenhwe we enso emra.
Almost say ana almost say
alajo
Allah Ajayo
hey oh
that's no name you know I na bibia talking no ana go dey na be bie no kan jam
Abusia enti no wa wo hwe a na chese otumu se scrubs fo nso ka ho bi because nade egu nsuo nani ebinum chema ye no krepa scrubs fo inanse wo mo ha dwene wo mo sisa scrubs na wo ntimi fa nko ba bia wo so wo mo ko sede anyo enti wo hwa we ye de tena wo mamu mani ye we ye de bu oman e mani ye that is the question people are asking because wo hwe said the fi say gatai emu achemienu efin afafa ene nsu afafa nsu ne be fa hen efin nso ekwe hen and this is how bad enema agensemu akwakodro na ebi chese from all indication no it was set mampani say was starting military enforcement pa wo Ghana ha to check sanitation especially in Accra because the kind of living ebinum live e won kran no wotika muabo nso obi anum so no ato afa ntokro na atofam ubisa won say ade na ade to fam no emframa hu ekwahe ana ade ato won okwahe emframa behwim obaka akwhye kona bi wakoto gata bim eni ade ne gata nketinkete kra no esisi enetie ne efienti ensuo ne kwenya baabi emfa and that is what ebinum che say from all what is happening in there you betimi state clearly pass ye efin enkrenfin enene amama ye juade ensuo etimi bu efa so a amanfo afamo ahwere wo mo enkwa it's very sad say eniama ginsemo ababedru say and we are hoping say Mampeni will take action ASAP. Now, still on the flood issues, amid the calls for president, say on calling for state of emergency or involving military, any other no. NPP amanyoko no any other Ghanaians so President John Dramani Mahama echi. Ebinumu trese sebe mrebi etwa mu no a bibi sei esi ye ensemi a President John Dramani Mahama kwakeka anye ene na wono nso abe mampani a ne de ne kra de agensemu chen mrebi esi ye na sansem we onipa wakwatwetwe de aba no Paul Adom Ochre together with some few NPP content creators any other there ebinumu tremu a enso ye to ye nyina ye hu se President John Dramani Mahama wokotena helicopter mu etwa ema ye hu clear view of how flooded the place is Accra aye and afen so nsema wo de betu dwa ani atate ye hu se MPP so wo mo flag bearer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia wono nso ejisi mu bi ni nkofo kokakasa ye ni ade na no na akotwe nsema basese me no ka se Paul Adomo chirechire mu a ade we yesi no eye opening de mayen say ye behwe say President John Dramani Mahama the flag bearer for the NPP the Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ensonsoniye pa eda wo mumienu entem na wono ene betimi akire say flood way ena ama yehu ensonsoniye edo mu ntem ede epote na Paul Adom Ochre drive out now ye betie wono ankasa ensem a wode atodwa na yeba yatoa enkomotwetwe no eso.
Of politics must come to an end at some point if we have to uplift our country. That kind of politics where advantage is taken off of everything. Samije, if he says, then we shouldn't to ababium and let's blame Omanpenyi. If today we want to blame Omanpenyi for it, what do? This President Mahama on a Facebook post in 2024, he said, the recent heavy downpours in Accra and other parts of the country have led to extensive destruction of property and, according to reports, the loss of life of a young schoolboy. This has exposed the government's failure to manage and prevent floods effectively and evokes deep concern about its lack of comprehensive flood prevention and management plan. Many areas that in the past were unaffected by flooding today become inundated with the least rainfall. That was President Mahama. He said the government has been exposed. Its failures has been exposed. Dr. Bawumia in same situation. He said this morning, my thoughts and prayers are with thousands of our people affected by the floods. My deepest sympathies to those who have lost their loved ones' properties and those who have been forced out of their homes. I urge citizens to comply with all directive issued by the government and to cooperate fully with institutions mandated to address the situation. I also urge the emergency services and all relevant authorities to do everything possible to reach those in need and assist them. We will get through this difficult time by caring for one another. This is a leader who unites our people. This is a leader who unites our people, a leader who is thinking, a leader who has a heart, who is burdened for our people. This is what it should be, not the way they used to advise President Mahama. You see, the difference between the advisors of Dr. Bawumia and the advisors of President Mahama is obvious from these two Facebook posts. It's entirely possible that both posts were not drafted by them. Somebody drafted it and brought it to them, they read through and they said, let it go. But it depends on the environments that you keep yourself in with advisors. It's very, very important.
Abusia Paula Domochiri ena yeti nsema wode tuja utie ne nsem na waka kosise 2024 nsuo bi etoye efa nkrofo ma ebinum fa mu wuye no ensem wa President John Dramani Betroy abre no sa time no na woye flag bearer the National Democratic Congress na ensem we hye nkran na so woye no politics ni ade enso nei the same incident worse than 2024 SC 2 years later, that is 2026, and we could see how Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party (NPP), also no kokrukwa manyukuno, said the war kasane when was nkrofo nkran ehwese wo mobeboa nkrofo ni ade and this should tell say enyensem nyina ene de ya amanyosem enye bibi ebesi bia no ene de politics ewo krodwe emu. Now in view of that, the former vice president, who is currently the flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Alhaj Muhammadu Bawumia, and some no SC said they di kind ekayen. What is in Mountain so and from it's touchim tough and a Ghana for the and some way saying the president himself didn't come down and so here a year vote to know now one a year and say or nam kofo fie near their dear per vote and there and so yiri woman de when I'm and wash more fem. These are some of the things they been more church now Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia probo boy ekopi mu wo gasauto no na no de semwa wode etu dwa no yebekọ na yakwa akotie no na yeba ensem ni bi ewo ho a yede beka ho ede amam.
Tragedy, and this is a tragedy for all of Ghana. It isn't a tragedy just for Accra or here in Oceana English Mampo. It is a tragedy for all of Ghana. And the flooding, as we have seen, has caused a lot of damage. We've lost lives. In fact, as I have arrived here, I'm told that there is a dead body that has yet to be picked up. We are calling on the authorities, NADMO and the police, to come together and make sure that the dead body is picked up. It's really unbelievable that it hasn't been done since yesterday. And I plead with the police and NADMO to come together to pick up this dead body. And I think that is just something that has to be done without anything. But I think that at the end of the day, I want Ghanaians, all of us, to come together. I don't want what is happening to break down into a partisan battle amongst the parties. There's a real issue of flooding facing Greater Accra region, and that issue is something that requires immediate and urgent solutions. And I think that is where we should focus on. How do we solve the problem? We shouldn't get into blame games. We should focus on how we can quickly solve the problems. What is worrying for me is that the forecasts forecast of even more rain to come. And if this is going to be more rain, I believe that the government could also consider even declaring a state of emergency so that we deal with this in that particular format, that a state of emergency is declared, because this is a real big problem for this country, and we have to put all our energies, all our talents, all the engineers, all the hydrologists, we have to bring everybody together, regardless of party. But this is for Ghana, and let us do it for Ghana. Let us come together for Ghana and solve this problem for our country. And so that is where I want to ask everybody, let's do this together and let's provide relief, immediate relief to the people who are affected. People need food, people don't have clothes, people don't have mattresses. Let us make sure that we come immediately to their aid to do that. Everybody should do something. Myself, I will try and help in the small way I can with some of these relief items. But I think that we are a country, our country people, our communities are in need, and we should all chip in to come and help them in this. It is a sad situation. It's a human story.
Flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Alhaji Mahama Dubaumia, ena yeti nsema wode etumonten so na chese waka kosi se baby edro ye nyina ya sede se ebebo ye homoden na yaboa ama obi a ne ho aka bia no nso betimi enya assistant wenye bra ye beye MPP ni NDC asem ewo krom ha asem na asi no atoga aha Ghana fo nyina enti enye NDC ena enye CPP na enye MPP, but we should try as our possible best say uwo kwan bi a obetumi afaso abo obi a na wafaso aye na ayefe na enum no na video bi ebeton monten so a na efa the interior minister Ramuntaka Mubarak ane ne ho na flood ya esi asebe obi a ehye ne hu kran na obi a kansem asebe ebechichire yenuanom a wo ho aka no ewre no the interior minister akoka asem bi Ghana fo bi no drag no wo manyimu any internet ne bi no chire mu a this is not a good precedent, and I say wenye sebe kwanya e wo se interior minister mo wakasa edichene manfo amanfo a bibia to wo mo anka this is not the time say empo no asem a wo ka no ewo mutrodo say enokre mpo a there are ways ubetimi aka no na say ubeka asem ne tro kan sa ne de na chese what are you trying to say? Are you happy that people are displaced? Are you happy say binum niem ahwere wo munjapade? I mean for so many years obi atrasia building the properties, now all of a sudden within 2 to 3 hours na wahwere bibia ensem ben na the interior minister akwaka atwetwe nsem we aba yentie no enra.
America is the richest country in the world. And one of its richest states is California. California state is the richest state in America. In fact, standing on its own, is the 6th largest economy in the world. Yet they had disaster and people lost their life. But they have all the money, they have all the measures. We
Abusia mrashe bedwafie na Ramuntaka Mubarak ejina ye abrana mrashe bedwafo bobo flood incident hu ewon kran any other regions emu na Ramuntaka the interior minister himself a wo beka kire se enipa 38,000 ene wo ho akwadwa enipa nson ayera na afi nso no sebe enipa dumienu ewu no wo ka kire se sebe enye Ghana enkire so se Ghana flood ebesi wa ha esanse woko United States America manimu California city a anase state a US manu emu omo osika pa ye ka state osika pa US California omokra ensuo yiri afa womo na de na kire so Ghana fo ho asebe ensuo ntimi yiri emfa ye eno ne nsemo a Ramuntaka kanya etwaguo ayeti bie na eda abefumfini 10 times we binum kire say we die was say the honorable interior minister utimi be render an unqualified apology edema Ghana for, because this ebre ye wo mu yi enya asem we ne pese ye ti ye nyina nim se flood de flood da enkofo nso but sebe nye ne ka se flood ne mefa ye sa na ebi no ho kire enti asem ato ya enka kekere rempoi na emom ubiri kro nani with ensem a wokeka enti wo mra bonten na wo mepache wo ye hwe se maybe the interior minister might apologize or not ye be follow keenly ewo ensem we so na yamamu update ewo ho now yemfree flood ensensemi so na yenkopie mu ewo the United States of America na ehonom na Ghana ni de hye a yenyina yenim no as Daddy Joe remix and din ede Joseph Kwadwo Bedu Boateng and Daddy Joe yenyina wo krodue mu ha na afie twemu 2025 beka se afi pepepe nie na FBI for ebetabri Daddy Joe ede ne koye na wo mu chire ma wo mu di kanche ne May ni mu 2025 June na wo mu extradite no de ne kopie mu wo United States na wo mu chire mu a romance scam ya enam so ma ye chi hajia for real ekotu mu no Daddy Joe or a business mugu e wo krodem ha very big man as such ne ho ebon mu ebie wakwa kopie mu wo US court ama ya toto na no ye general proceedings akoso ni ade Daddy Joe plead guilty na chese waje atum se kwadu aye de bono conspiracy to commit wire fraud over romance scam no no kre waje atum se no oye bi and amount for fraud din wo motete internet so dada nkrofo a wo mu hye o moda no bi wa nanu kotwa mansa kure hu nipa no ne kasa ne da and fake pictures no mo se ne no mu di giska no waje atum se conspiracy to commit wire fraud over romance scam no plead guilty. Now US attorney Arizona and what in same way ababeto and mountain so was say taxing arrest last week Joseph Kwadwo Bedu Boateng, also known as Daddy Joe Remix, a citizen of Ghana, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud. And said them di kind echremuno and sa pepepe ena etie wajiatum se Kwadwo ede bono no we de wanye not guilty and odi hu for pa say na woye romance scam. Was say Boateng was arrested in Ghana and extradited to the United States in June 2025. In his plea, Boateng admitted that he and his conspirators engaged in a romance and inheritance fraud scheme from 2013 through March 2023. Enti wochiremu a waje atumu pa wonen century yemu ni ade ode koye na se wono ene nkofo bi e ka ne ho no wo ma aje atum se romance scam ene inheritance fraud ya ye de bobo nkofo yi that de chiremu aye no kre na oye bi na wo hyase no 2013 to 2023, that is 10 solid years in and why yet say Juma way e won cry ha. Now the people they target was targeting Deadliest from AZ and around the US and penim for a more US and potem honum no and wo ma yere ho and wo mu target wo mu no mu dada wo mu ji wo musika emfe baku edu 10 years near and Daddy Joe aye sa ejuma we ewo Ghana krodwem ha enti ye de no kopie mu o court no na chese waji nti we shall say United States Department of Justice ane wo mo na wo mo de sa nsem we abetodwa now ye be kwa hwe wo mo nsem a US the United States of Justice wo mo de baye nti o sha say Ghanaian national extradited to US pleads guilty in romance and inheritance scheme targeting the elderly. Enti wajia tumu se Ghana ni this year 2025 afe pepepe nie wo mo ede no kopie mu US no wajia tum se romance and inheritance fraud se be mpanimfo en wo mo tisi wo mo so dada wo mo ji wo musika no ne ho ebon nsem ne mu ebi wo ne nkrofo bi ena Daddy Joe na se media areho. Now say taxing arrest last week Joseph Kwadwo Bedu Boateng, also known as Daddy Joe Remix, a citizen of Ghana, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud, a felony. Boateng was arrested in Ghana on an extradition warrant on May 27, 2025. In June 2025, Boateng was extradited to the United States, and he has remained in custody since his arrest into Deadliest May 27th, 2025, and extradition warrant and I'm so Emma FBI for ekwache no efa romance any inheritance fraud home na June mu ene wo mo no ede ne copy mu wo US e kire mu a wa police fo akachia fibra ye che ne afi ba ko nie no wa mo akachia ene ena update eba. Or say in his plea agreement, Boateng admitted that he and his co-conspirators engaged in a romance and inheritance fraud scheme from 2013 through March 2023, targeting the elderly from Arizona and around the United States. Omu echemwa Boateng agiatum se omu den ko pie mu court no wagiatum se wono ene nkofo e ka ne ho no romance and inheritance for scheme de wa ya che 10 years in 2013 kopin March 2023 no an wa ya na womo a wo target womo no yembre wafo ne nkokrafo a womo tete Arizona wo US ene mpotem honom no ene womo te edesi womo eso and woman on my client papa no. Now, see the co-conspirators pretended to be romantically involved with the victims through online dating sites, text, and other electronic communications. Enti kwa omo fa so no enti omo keka ne ho no ebi ye mani ade de omo ye ne se omo ye omo ho te se de omo ni nkukrafo etwe mpena and omo relationship mu de more odzen de more tight and the no omo send ne pictures no omo send ne text ni ade ne afa so adada omo ano nso eja omo wai kakra e de atum. The co-conspirators also falsely represented that they had received an inheritance of gold and jewels, and that to release such items to the victims, taxes and other fees would be required. And then, woman, kasa na womu twa womu ntreja Ghana had the nimse Ghana a country, a hub of gold, and if a former good day you two a half papa sika koko ni ade enti oni o medada o mo ni o sika koko ni ade but e be ba be council ji watwetwa taxes bi watwetwa sika bi ansa na ebetimi di amount no mo nso $y igum no mo y gum sa enu no mafa so de adada wo mo a womo ede age womo sika. Or say in addition to pleading guilty, Boateng agreed to pay restitution totaling approximately $4.4 million, which was the direct loss caused by his involvement in the scheme. In Domuchema, wasajia tum eda the Joe remix ane. Wajiatum se wobetria eyesika puduo $4.4 million ede ama eye omwa sebe omo ho akoka edwa wosa fraud mu esanse hwemu a omo sisika wagege ede afiri nkokrafo ani embrewafo yi ho a na chese keka ko $4.4 million. Or say Boateng sentencing is scheduled for September 8th, 2026 before United States District Judge Angela M. Martinez. Into omuchemu a asem ne de say omotimi akobo anotofa na anotofa ni nyina ne say wagiatum se kwadu a yede bo no wodi fo ewo ho na se de wodi fo wo ho no yes September ne de tosun wotwe ewo afiye mu no yede ne bekwa kogina court ama na kofesi judge pani ne din ede Angela M. Martinez na fe ye hu kwadu a yede bebo no obekwasen emfie mienu emfie miensa emfie 9 September 8th, and yenina yebehu the final verdict at the free Judge Angela M. Martinez Also, the FBI Phoenix Division's Sierra Vista office conducted the investigation. The U.S. Attorney's Office District of Arizona, Texas, is handling the prosecution. Into muchema na chese FBI for wo Phoenix Division wo nso na yenhwehwemu defense zemni mu na afi attorney's officer ewa Arizona no wo nso ekura ensem no emu. The following partners provided essential support for the extradition: FBI legal attaché in Accra, Ghana. And omo boaye ma yetimi ache that the Joe Remes extradited ne de copy mu US ne che ma FBI legal attache wo Accra Ghana ha omuka hu bi the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice wo Ghana ha omunso eka hu bi the Republic of Ghana's Iyoko and Economic and Organized Crime Office Eternity awa Iyoko womunso eka hu bi Ghana Police Services Interpol womunso jiremu and the Department of Justice Office of International Affairs womunso ka hu bie na say ekuo we e wo Ghana ha ekuo ebo ye nyina busua wan te se apart from the FBI officer ya be set to Accra hanum say omo ka ho omo amaka nyina Ghana institution so omo boa ye ma yetimi ebechi that the Joe enti wo sha case number no and the 23CR00695 TAC AMM release number 2026-113 Boateng. Enti na chesensem a say ababetojwa efa eye Daddy Joe ane Joseph Kwadwo Buadu Boateng and Daddy Joe remix and who no na say ye beche na ebinu mo kase oh and I say wo mo chicheche Crawford do any ade no na ebinu mo say yenhwe Daddy Joe nankasa were pleading guilty because from 2013 to 2023 abusia enyank adeketo Ghana for dream say enti sana I started I got money from washing bowls near the ade nyina no na gimmicks na sebe lines bi amode maye wo krodwe mu ha because this and someone mo kika kire dey we can't think far we can't understand de bia na mo ka kire say na ye sha ase no ye de 200 cedis and ye kotwitwi nkukuo 7,000 mu in 1 hour and ye di nyeska and ko he say we've heard these stories but apparently since 2013 that the Joe remix has been frauding together with other people emrewafo a wo mo abrasa mo mani mu mfufranya wo musika e wa amanone ana modi odo edada wo mo eji wo musika edi e wo krodue mu hanom say so it's quite unfortunate said that the Joe say there were pleaded guilty ye train September 8th na fe ye hu the final verdict ni sentence a yede ebema no ebema mo update ewo ensem way ehu. Now let's come back to Ghana na yembonra the business mogul one and only RNAQ Richard Ni Amakwe na kachi nyina nim say for some time now no one in the former wife Joanna Kwe wo mo awarija ye hu nsensem abeteni wo Ghana hanum say has been one issue to the one issue after the other. Me no ka say there is a fresh lawsuit asaba betoja against Richard Ni Amakwe from the yere Mame Joanna Kwe obebusa say edien na ekoso why what is happening what is the fresh lawsuit edien biem na sie from the disposition of be can say properties any their court verdict any ade nyina ede biem nanso ye kiremu a Richard Ni Amakwe ni ex-wife ni say nyama nkitinkiti wa one notice and say we filing new case ede na one notice now on your screens also Richard Ni Amakwe and RNAQ divorce saga Joanna Kwe files fresh suit enti we dey monachia wen kensuo now yenhwe nsem ni mu Joanna Kwe, former wife of famous Ghanaian businessman and philanthropist Richard Ni Amakwe, widely known as RNAQ, has reportedly filed a fresh suit in their ongoing divorce settlement battle. In the divorce ne den kaye real na court ne verdict o koma ye ene Joanna Kwe ne lawyers de omode ko ese nka wo mu eje ewa wari ni mu a court ka said there be a wo tete so ne ade no eno kra nem say akofa nsem wenyina ede aba. Now what is the fresh suit in question? Or say according to a report by the law platform.online Joanna Kwe, in her new writ, which was filed at the Commercial Division of the High Court in Accra, is seeking 10% of the profit of Bills Microcredit Limited, a company that records shows that they co-funded since its founding in December 2011. Enti ye chire mu a platform the law platform .online no eno mo de betu dwa se Joanna Kwe kwadu fufura wo de akobo ni kunu dada Richard ni amakwe wo commercial division wo Accra High Court hanom ene se wo je 10% of emfasodie biya Bills Micro Credit Limited tete quick credit no wo mu enya esan se nkrata bia na anu ada beto monten so no na echire mu a 2011 December omuti company no na Joanna Kwe eka ho ene omuti quick creditor enei ababe Bills Micro Credit Limited na enu mu no Joanna Kwe ewo 10% shares na Richard Niama Kwe ewo 90% shares enti sa 10% shares no wo jisu mfaso bia aba no ne shares mfaso ananke wo se eba ne ho no wa file court writ se yenje emfama no. Now, so the report indicated that Joanna Kwe's request forms part of her right as a result of her directorship, investment, and ownership of Bills Microcredit Limited. So the mekaye no, the entire worker say yenji 10% profit. And for man say the papa mua oko company ni mua waka omua omote company ni home o investi womu into a owner or a director or say investor. And the shares 10% into also a jet name fasodie. She argued through her lawyers that she owns 10% of the company and thus is entitled to 10% of its profit under the ownership agreement. And Asia Pamwa when Richard Niama Kwe say since 10% shares any diano. That just say anka ne papa mu a say afi o say busumi miensa ntemu o busumi insia ntemu nka mfaso bi ebeba company ni mu no 10% ne dia enti yenje emfama no. The plaintiff does seeks declarative reliefs from the commercial court that she holds 10% shares of the third defendant, Bills Microcredit Limited, and thus entitled to a 10% of the profit of the company, said Eddie Camboson. She further seeks the court to order her ex-husband and Bills Microcredit, the crown jewel of the success of Mr. Kwe, and to a chemwa, dear ne ama Richard Niama Kwe, I Richard Niama Kwe will be any no, and the food bank no, and any birthday or koye, and any chicken man pizza man, a quick credit, and ama Richard Niama Kwe enye sika bia wanya watimi dia invest bibia no nso e kan kofo a wote ye ho nti no court ema ni kunu ene my Bills Microcredit wo mo emfa ne 10% mfaso ema no or sit to account to her for all profits made since December 2011. She further seeks orders directed at Richard Niama Kwe and Bills Microcredit for the payment of her share of the profit into Ochema or Mumbai account emano every 2011 sika ba ye nyina enfasodie ba ye nyina free 2011 o Mumbai account na afi o mun calculate ente ne 10% emano o mo tene so yese bi o mo je ne so free 2011 no ye nya sei na ade sei enya keka bomu ye sei enti sa na tie de a enu nie de bi mu wie ye na mu nkotua ne sika enfaman muntua ne profit sebe ne profit enfaman with interest at the prevailing bank rate, part of the report read. Enti sikana wo mo ho ache fit 2011 mu de ye aduma ma meje mo fa interest enka ho interest a ukọ Bank of Ghana say ne banks ahodo no wo mo ege no eno na Joanna Kwe say enfama no enti wo je interest wo je ne profit with interest abusia. That is the new fresh filing Richard Niama Kwe, ne wife, ne ex-wife akwakoye edi etiano. And say utimu say lady no na ni abrepa we divorce mu battle tare we de enkodi agro ewo ho. So the ex-wife of Richard Niama Kwe told the court that she never transferred her shares in the company as asserted by her former husband. Enti sa hwefo bekaya case ni hyase no ene ye tetete won from say Richard Niama Kwe krata bia beto dwama o share the owners and as shareholders what bills credit mu say adwana ko edi enim enti na ekwa say the 10% na kwedi obi ho eno na adwana ko etem say ono oni mu hwe e na onfa ne shares so nye the MOB a na say to her no she's still a shareholder in Bills Microcredit. Now she does accuse Richard Niamakwe RNAQ fraudulently transferring her shares in the company into a chema Richard Niamakwe on one wapekweti kwan bi so kwan bone so e na ode ne 10% na akomo obi wa abrekra won wan kasa de onim ho hwe. Or say it is not in doubt that the plaintiff was the owner of 100,000 shares, which is equal to 10% of the shares in Quick Credit and Investment Money Lending Company Limited. In the Uchemwa, Bibia de pefe say 10% no Joanna Kwe Edia. The plaintiff has never agreed to a transfer of her shares to anybody. Nti enyada Richard Niamakwe ne yere dada Joanna etena se edi nkomo daba kokora ma Joanna ka se oh mumfa me shares ne ema so masi anase obenten ensida. Neither has she received any consideration for the purported transfer. Enti se empo mo dey transfer ya mo bi anka list mo cooling it down. Muntu ninsem mumma ni bibia mo de be patano, but according to their urban de wenya hwe. The first defendant executed a transfer of the plaintiff's share through an instrument which was not the act or deed of the plaintiff. Entino Sir Richard Niamakwe akwa transfer ne yere dada Joanna ne shares e de amobi a and the Joanna de onimoshi ono anonim kwan of aswa wo ye. The plaintiff has never signed any instrument or document transferring her shares to anybody, including the second defendant. Enti at least yen nyina nim se obi transfer any shares and even for properties cry yes sample a yen nyina ye be ye de ensa be shakrata ase enyanti ase we atin ho ase we atin, but ye chema Joanna Kwe wa nkoda krokra ase wo kosan bibi e che se ordinary shares no ma obi. Now, Obama will say the first defendant, without any lawful authorization by the plaintiff or excuse, made an instrument by which he assigned the shares of the plaintiff to the second defendant. Enti, kwa omofa aswa, omo transfer shares no. Ne kura ne said Joanna Kwe die onim ho hwe. The purported transfer of the plaintiff's shares was neither pursuant to any resolution stipulated by the Companies Act of Ghana nor in fulfillment of any of the requirements of Ghanaian law. The purported alteration of the records of the company through the unlawful transfer of her shares and the unlawful entry of the second defendant as a shareholder occurred as a result of fake deed or transfer made by the first defendant and the falsification of the plaintiff's signature, a portion of the writ state. International say, "Womaria womo and womako forge the former wife of Richard Niamakwe in the signature and oma transfer the shares ni illegally de amawobia wono Joanna ni enimushi ntiende de Joanna Kwe asan de kwadu fofra court a woche mu say court enhwem na woma Richard Niamakwe ene Bills Microcredit emra womo be chechensemu womo me calculation na afei de sika mfaso aba fi 2011 ebepem sabre no omumbebu ho akonta omubu ho akonta ewia omumfa ne sika ema no a interest eka ho. It is say de ebunya looks like the case is getting interesting day by day and semni kwa nanimu no na eya interesting, and we are hoping say court so ebetina same way so na de womu bia no wamodi ababe tuja se Joanna Kwe ewo case se woni case no court no ene be determine na se koba ne se no kreso de a na che se ebe ye nsempi na amafo chemu se Joanna Kwe de waye ne de eye pa cause na no ada boy ye ayekọ boy ye a Richard Niamakwe ko obie video bi e beto monten so a wono hye obi boss obi mani ska nem se Richard Niamakwe no uska nti Joanna Kwe wonim de oye. Now yen hye sa video we emra na yen to aso.
Would you give me $2 million?
$2 million. I'll give you 50% of this real estate.
Enti no ebi chire mu say Richard Nyamakwe obetimi kura ma $2 million or more na we woni Dulcie we TikToker na wo kasa nsem we so obetimi ama more than that there de na hu hia say de oyiri ken untimi emfanye man ebi kura chire mu say with this be sure oba na bufuo more because osuma ni $2 million so be man 50%. As a ushiska and our person within the wicked and yes, sika bia brebia wa brebia no. It was said what is so abba. And the said the divorce case win so ebe kwako wiwi. Now, the son of President John Dramani Mahama eso metre appear stadium. Ye nyina ye nim ne nsem wa beto apan so efa TikToker abayo anedin ede ella our the allegations be abeto internet ne so efa appear stadium ho. So the mampani din abeyo be no mu pie ewie yen so appear akwakobu no kwasia allegedly ewo mountain eso. Amafo p a join ne the conversation efa sa ensem we ho now. Nipa ba kwa edi kan a wabekasa Commander General our TikTok wo chem sa apia stadium senka wo yo no a enkasa bio enya de a wo beko kan say court krase wo kwakọ issuwi rate ede etia ella na emom de behia pa enese obekwa asorifie akoda nyame ase now in same way by after say TikTokers for bi no mo invite apia stadium so on be cheche nsemu ni ade nti wo sha o see apia stadium response to TikTokers room invite allegation threatens legal action intina apia ekoka say wo be ma lady no court esuri no anaso obesuri lady no ewo court no na ama Commander General so beka say wo hia mpo say obekwa akosuri no ewo ba bia wonko asori fie na wonko nkoda nyame ase esanse nanka woni lady no awura demo a keni na deje nyina ebeda monten so yentie nemra.
Good day, this is your man the Commander General. Yes, Apia Stadium, come and listen to Commander General for the first time. Come. I learned you said with the lady issue, you are taking her to court. Hey, Apia, forget the court issue and rather run to church this Sunday and go and thank God. Go and thank God that the lady did not follow you to the hotel room. I am telling you, like by this time, your naked pictures are on the social media. Go and thank God right now. And take it from me straight up here. The favor you have, the opportunity you have, the doors that has been opened and is open to you. Ministers, chiefs, MCs, big time government opportunities that they have. Big time government officials never have the opportunity. Do you know people who just want to have that relationship with the president? How many people want to just see one-on-one with Ibrahim Mahama? These doors that look at the way sometimes the Asante King even opens a door for you to come to where, hey, Apia Stadium, go and learn from this big time mistake. And thank God that the lady did not follow you to the hotel room. It could have been a mess. Guy, I love you so much. I like you so much. Learn something from this. And to all our married men, this time, the social media is a big time weapon that people use to bring you down. If they can bring the Mexico cartel down, if Samson can be killed because of a woman, somebody who fights a battalion. It takes just one woman to bring him down. Abia, go to church and go and thank God and learn something from it. You are a married man. People like you too much. The opportunity you have. Let me tell you something today, Apia Stadium. Let me tell you something today. 2008, I met President Mahama. That time, he was now fighting to become a vice president with the Tamils. He told me something that when they come to power, from 2008 till now, I have not even get the opportunity to shake hand with President Mahama. Talk about even telling him what he told me. How I wish you have this big door open to you. Go and thank God. Forget about that court thing. Go and thank God. I don't want to talk about the lady. And I don't want to know who asked her to bring these things to the social media. But, my sister, you have sold yourself. Every man who have this chance that wanted to even come to your life, I'm telling you, my sister, people will be very careful of you. I don't know who advised you. It's a big mistake. You thought you were coming to disgrace him, but you've rather sold yourself. If somebody does this, one hand goes to the person, 4 directs back to the person. How I wish you couldn't even bring this to public. You have lost a lot. I love you all. Commander General.
Yeah, Commander General, and I eat in Sema with the 2 Jana Chisu Chema appear and Kodanya Miasin can Nimguasia Tadia pa ye de Beshanuno. Na dejen na be caught a mountain so ever Ghana Hanum Nitia ye pass unya ni 3 edidi mu. Na ebinu mo airtie appear stadium echino na ebin so ebo eye lady echi ban na nipa ba kwa ono nso support lady chire mu se woni de osusu pa se ensem wa lady no ede betu dwa no eye no kre na apia ebetumi ayama na broso no eye prophet fire oja enso akasa ebusuam na utie ne nsem a wode tu dwa na o chemu se from lady ni explanation se na onipa ne se apia se na ni gina asa ho no obusa se anya bia apia stadium where who dance god who endurance who afronita as amanfo asa okrodwem a who omumu bia na abaye yi elai asabe mpa no asa okrodwem ha na se apia nimde na oye den oye ndutimu se wakana gumu a enya sem ketwa fire oja ne nsem a wode tu dwa eni
apia stadium de omampani din etwitwa ntro Ghana for mo yimoni afiri ho na mo digen atem apia stadium edi omampani John Dramani Mahama din twantro edada ma so ye president edu baby also a vice president edu baby also a president ba mo yimoni mo digen atem because onyam obusuani apia stadium se ge na saye ne fenti opeso oboa no mumusa apia stadium se dance god money afronita money o mom account wo hu wo ge na sabe na wo sa wo social media no so se na saye eya apia stadium fa anti a wo friends so opeso oboa no hotel na oba ye na wo begina wo no boa nipa no wo ewa na ada na so woni wachi na onko wo room wo according to get any video Muti genate madwen ko nti womra dem wo no mesa wo dem wo na apiaso nka se ye ne fa na se mwa na hotel no pese wo ba obi ani wo a wo invite chale apia stadium sisike ba ni mobile money so no o de tire ge no onim se 2000 na se 2020 ge ni hwe onim Ghana sikem entrofo entromu ntro moja we na asiwo na mudi genatem me problem ni wo mi problem ni Omampani John Dramani Mahama and Ibrahim Mahama. Baby, I will be me mamo. Good evening, Ghana time, 7 p.m. na abon. Me church yam. Moni mo nyam ni baby do need said ya motiano. And sasamo tenasema apia stadium edi mudin edada ma ediomoko hotel. Ye na ye omine ba na se apia stadium wait me babontin be yes or your president or your vice president no their dada wo ba no the Nico hotel na ye na eti wa se ye nim saa e woni se de wo ye no itiamra senko bi na asem we si anya se nipa na efla wo ba bi no so ye o mampani anka ba this time ye de ensa koso ni mu Ghana fo hu ye no mu di abayo anatem me nkote a ebufu sem ne nkwase asem ba kwa mete en se me kosi u girl awrade nyankopon mame fensi ha.
So fire oja enso echiremu a amanfo umu defendi Apia Stadium omu refi di Apia ya na se wode mampani din na wode ne namde bɔ ne ho safo hene ene oye mampani abedi echire ene oye mampani ba ene kofa hin kosi hin ne ade nyina no mu refi no ena sebe mwatwema no EDSC TikToker Ella eso forgetting that Apia Stadium nso nasem enye de and they say no and some na koye two-sided the Apia Stadium side and TikToker Ella nso side eduti mu se fire oja de wotai Ella no achi den pa enya sem kotwa ebi chire mu a this is not an issue a e was say beto mountain so kra ma yebobo hu ekasa hu kra ne ade and for Apia Stadium to think so kosu lady no pode emfa so bi a enso wei wo mo amfre wo mo hu no mo kasa back doors na asem ni nsi cause this is not the first time bibi say kra esi ewo krodwem ha ebi kra make reference to honorable Asafoa and anu ye ware Caris internet issue. So you realize that these things usually happen until we put there and we see a home back and forth Ghana ha na ne nyina mu no Apia peso wo kire se sika benya na wontimi nya den emfa ma ababa wa we ya wabetena monten so egu ne hu fi ni ade entimi ne wo ka se wakoye donations bi ni ade aba na beton monten so ebi che se we die kwan Apia peso wo fa so na wo kire lady no mafia se sika de wo bi pa na ma na wa ma no yenhwe video we embra.
The Honorable Apia Stadium, Mahama, and
how many years? Or some Kwame Despite. I think I was 6 years. Do you friend me say? O say was Kwame Despite. Master, Despite Papa sorry. Dr. Kwame Despite. Apia Stadium. And now we in the near the game then so. If you have your country, some young. O say was Kwame Despite. When I was Kwame Despite, and Yamia Wise can YouTube see you. I say because she had herself a friend Ibrahim Mahama Kameye and a fellow police support and Dr. Sophia Pine and I dance Abia neck dance as the former bomb with Dina. But Domina, number 2 dear or that's right. Or sir, or that's right. That's right. Maybe I'm on India or baby dear, or go to the Mamma Guasi, and Mamma Row. Apia Stadium. About the Asabukoya in Basia, Cameroon, Basia comes. But she will be a form of double bar will be yourself. Some will have physical challenge, physically challenge. Obia, no, can't see. Yes, I will see who. Obia, for the chest, I'm saying, I'm saying, we are Madame for the person, argument for the person. Never about John Dramani Mahama. Yeah. Yes. The 5,000. Most of it be a school fees at Chelsea.
Abusia Apia Stadium na washia eye physically challenged and din ose Kwame despite na chese wo chiremu a tibia wo mu no na nya tibia wo so wo meska kra because abaye bi pese ogu nanimu ase ewo Ghana ha na so wo manu ni ni so eti ene wama abofrei 5,000 to 50 million san hye ne bo so obetua ne school fees de amane ebi kire se enka ehu hia san nsem wo kokeka ye nyina no wo ye donation ahwemu na ye wo ye philanthropical work ahwemu na ye na ba bia wo de kofifa ye ko wanwan yi de ye ntimi and supporting us. Well, others also at Jemwa. This is a very good initiative. And we are there back home who's a PIA. Apart from the training to entertain this time around, no, Apia Stadium or Bon Homo today. And Tino, so I cast will be ya Baba Wano. Ye her baby, sa case no, ebe quackudrum. Updates be a BP mono, a shamo bosse ye de ebe premo. Afe, yes, sorry, so no, not ye could weary and semino. Ewo the New Patriotic Party NPP amanyukono emu eho na the former Sin Central Mrashi Bejani Kennedy akompreko ohene Japan ne honsem bia ba beto apono eso na Kennedy Japan na no adansem a okakeka ye a wo chem say ye afari ayaresa bia honsem e ba ye between the NPP minority ne asrafo binumu a ehu be ye he okrom ha ken ekoye ne birthday donation odi betu dwase hu nyampo si ebe politics e wa Afari hospital no na MPP before ba yi se de pa e no mutimi ye de fa ho ebe ye nsem bebre MPP fo bi no mu chese yenyi kanin free mu se yenyi nim free party nim wo ye be too much ne nsen kekaye na ya doso obakofo ene sei wo china sei eni adade ente ebe ya yenyi kan free party nim. That is the conversation na eno na the former General Secretary Edema the party NPP amanyuko no na obribu ahen wabekasa wechiremu se baby eduro no enso tapo nkyereni a wogewo enti ken ankasa de ewose womtimi yi no edifri amanyuko no na amanyuko no ehu ento no na sei wochina sei no eyadoso na obribu ahen yentie no emra
me ya pasa manu kanko amane ye no emedi yensem me ya wanye yepe me wanye yempe but so what's in the meeting?
Not saying Nana.
Sana Polska Party, Kubiasa. Nimi Roman. Who more? Bamba was you. Basha of the net. Uka Uradia. Oh, why? No one should have our dear swa. One crowd Uradia. So Uka Uradia did you should have our dear Soka Uradia. No water for Floka. One crowd Uradia. Me Roman, I don't know.
Okay.
Incredible. Ukobia. One no monster. One new preku. SDA. Ukobia. One Shasumade. Ubekai Homedan Waya na Kron. I've given these examples for sure the basic definition of a political party. And why we join a political party, why we join a religious group, and why, and etc., etc., etc. Fine. Now, Japan is a member of the New Patriotic Party. Obribuahin is a member of the New Patriotic Party. Yachira Yagin, Obitim Kase, Yenina Yachira Yagin. But there's a line. You have come classroom, baby.
Okay.
Once you're a player for Manchester United,
okay,
you are a player for Manchester United. You can never be seen putting on Liverpool t-shirt.
Okay, Nana, what that map? A brain is me person.
You and a baby will say, no, be I can say, no, baby, she will say, and a baby I say, and I'm ready to be an interview. So now, presidential, flat barrage, one winning, but I'm not tasty party.
Okay, Nana, ain't see me per se ye rap ye bese aba wo hono ebio. So do you think say process now or mu go to ne de ne kwan so ano nti wo mo enye san hyehyeye na na yemfa no ensi.
Oh, process na but you be some me be some my process in the class. I'll tell you.
Okay.
Oh, we Canada. What down for no bribe. Me to me ka so onya madam for. Me to me ka so onya me yonko brabo. Obume me buno.
Okay.
But Canada adoso don't go with my bread.
Okay. Okay.
Adoso don't go with my bread. Now what could say nyan to be na ni say me number wo. MPP no what boy MPP pa. But also MPP as a party aboa.
Okay.
Na adoso do me show down.
Okay.
Don't go with my bread.
Yo, Nana.
What question about me? Okay. Now, MPP no foreign young quada.
Okay, yo, Nana. Mame, na was the phone. See, I never said
to be the
yo, Nana, Mate.
Now, MPP, any UP, any NLM. And then Northern People Party, and then you're going to be there. So it's too much. Okay. So for goodness sake, good riddance. Bye bye. Yo, I think they've had enough.
Okay.
Also, you have.
Yo, Nana, Matse, me da se abusia fo.
Abusiana no Bribuahin, the former General Secretary, demanded a new patriotic party. Amanyukono ena yetinsema wadetuja. Clear indication with Remwa Benkum Jari Nifa ena Nifa Jari Benkum. MPP abua Ken swabua MPP. But baby edruno, enough is enough. Ken obekwa wonko bye bye. Umejane kwanye. Na wentri ne niema yakoko kosono yadoso. And so, person obedi amanyuko ne nhyehyeye so biema ene bye bye into o my instances bebre ene ade se be asole bia ene ne doctrine ne ade so ye onkofo omutim enti wohwe na afa untimi a na wapel baby ede afa na in view of that no and the director of communications at the United Party yera Alan Kwadwo Tremantin na manyuko enu so free NPP amanyuko ni mu no Solomon Owusu wode aba betodwa se NPP fo nka hunu se Ken ema ni musu sekim no wokwa onipa ba ko mesa ahwere no Afenyo Markins ane. Now I'm sure a lot of you be wondering Afenyo Markins there kwan ben so just like Alan left and we saw hopes in Adoye follow, we saw a lot of nipa binum or more party mu di akire no sa ena Ken nsu free mu a nipa binum ebe free amanyuko no mu na one person according to Solomon Usu no onu so be free mu no the minority leader Osahene Afenyo Markins so akire mu a o nti a wo kasa but per analysis ni investigation ni research no Afenyo Markins aka ne mpren P ene mpre so se na nyonkofa wo eda wono eni Ken ntem no enye nkragro sa ahwefo beka na ntem kra abato aye to ye no eni ade yi flag bearer for the party no na okopi mu wa Afenyo no constituency a ye kire mu nipa dodo na ena to ma Ken enu nso be ye nsem bebre wo Ghana ha enti according to Solomon Usu de MPP for se omo ye omo adwen so be yi Ken de a Omunkai said they will lose a lot of people. Yentie Solomon and some other tuja.
What are we discussing with Kennedy Japan? Kennedy Japan made a statement regarding the Afari incident. Is that not the case?
Yes.
And I said, I have listened to the tape 30 times. And I'm not exaggerating. Now, what was the import of the statement? All he said was that the Afari situation, you cannot just blame the NDC, a 15-month-old government, for not having completed it, and that the MPP too must take a fair share in the blame. When he said that, someone was trying to give me an eye that he should stop about the MPP, that did provoke me and said that, you see, when I said MPP, you are eyeing me. We must speak the truth, and that it is Ghana first, and we are not doing politics. These are the words of Kennedy Japan. That we are not doing politics. And indeed, we cannot be doing politics with our health infrastructure, with our education and everything. And what he stated, was he stating a fact? Or he was just lying?
Is it not the subsequent statement on Net2 TV where he said that he will release files which will you spill the beans essentially.
No, but the point is
which is becoming the basis for these.
So that's why I'm laying the foundation. So after this statement, a nationalistic statement, taking a national position on the matter, then they released some of the social media antics of the party. They took him to the cleanest. Look, I have never seen insult like that. But sometimes I wonder whether people understand whether insult do anything. If I come and sit here and insult me, I laugh over it all. To the extent that my own younger sister Mavis, political Mavis, even said that he might have lost memory. So I say, hey, then I have to come back again. That look, you people, is that how you want to go? So he also fled up. What I'm trying to say is that you are a party that is already disjointed. There is no cohesion. They may be lying to themselves when they come to the public.
Right.
As we speak, if you were to go to Bantima constituency, there is fire on the mountain. The constituency chairman Fifi, MPS and so and other executives, they are fighting, and it's all over social media, and they are not ashamed of that. They come openly and say that this one wants to tamper with the album. I'm not going to allow that. I also want to tamper. This is what is happening. You go to Nkoko constituency, people are fighting among themselves. Instead of you being so tactful and then know your difficulty and see how best you would resolve the issues. I know your time is getting good, but in concluding, you know, they extended it to yesterday to Afenyo. You are talking about Kennedy Japan. But the guys were rushing to Afenyo's car. Because in your mind, what took place in the election on the 31st of January 2026, where the votes from Afenyo's constituency was that huge for Kennedy Japan. They see him through Kennedy Japan. And that, mark my word and cut today's date, that when they succeed in getting Kennedy out, the next person that will be forced out of the party will be Afenyo Martins.
That's a bold.
I'm telling you.